Hello, we're back. We're going to do some yoga, focusing on leg strength. Okay, so let's start in mountain pose. I'm going to stand towards the back of my mat. I want you to feel this connection through your feet. Find a sense of rising up through your feet, up your spine. Be sure your lower ribs are not flaring out. Keep them engaged towards the spine so that they're in line with the upper ribs. Hands alongside the body, and just stand strong here. Connect with your legs. You maybe even start to feel like your heels want to engage toward one another, gripping through the toes just a little bit. Connect with your legs. And then keeping this connection with your legs, we're going to soften the knees, coming into a standing forward bend. If your hands don't touch the floor, then bring your hands onto your shins or your calves. But we're going to be strong through the legs. This is not a floppy rag doll. We're bringing the energy up through the legs to lengthen the spine. Release the neck here. Just breathe with me. Let's all bring the hands onto the shin bones, lengthening the back, shoulders resting down away from the ears. And then soften the knees, slowly rising up. We're going to come into tree pose. So I'm going to mirror you. You're coming onto your left leg, bending the right knee. I like to place my hands on my hips to be sure that they're balanced and not cocking out, like I'm hanging out at the mall or anything. Remember when people did that? So keep your hips nice and balanced, open up at the hip. You can place your foot either at the ankle or bring it into the thigh, just not the knee. It's too unstable to place your foot there. And then either placing your hands at your heart, perhaps growing your tree tall, bringing the hands together. Find the variety that works for you. But long through your leg like a tree, pulling energy from the roots, which is your foot, all the way up your trunk, through to your hands. Good, let's release that down. And just connecting down now through your right leg, opening up that left hip, hands on the hips to be sure I'm not cocking any hips out. And then I'm gonna bring my foot up to my thigh since that's what I did on the other side. You repeat what you did on that first side. And once you find your stability, place your hands where it feels appropriate for you. Breathe here. And really imagine that energy coming up through your foot, up your leg, strong, vibrant. And bring that down. And then I'm going to step the right foot forward, place my left heel down. We're going to come into a warrior one. So bending the right knee, engaging through this left leg, opening up the front of the left hip. I'm going to bring my hands at my heart, reach them straight up, little back bend here, and warrior one. You can look up at your hands or you can look straight ahead. Really press through the big toe of that front foot so you're keeping your knee healthy, keeping your knee in line with your ankle. Good. Let's bring those hands back down to the hips, soften that right knee. I'm going to step the left foot forward and step both feet back to the back of my mat. And now I'm going to step forward the left foot, right heel comes down, Bending the left knee, I'm finding my way to warrior one on the other side. Hands at my heart, bringing them up. Little back bend here, bending the left knee, pressing through the big toe as I keep my knee in alignment with my ankle. Feel how strong your legs are. Let's bring the hands down. Step that back foot forward. Let's stay here at the front of the mat. Connect through mountain pose. Always coming back to the mountain. The sense of steadiness and strength you feel in mountain pose, you want to feel in every pose. So now hands on the hips. Let's step back the left leg a little bit wider. We're going to come into warrior two. So bending the right knee. Again, that knee is right in alignment with the second and third toes. I'm going to place my arms out, gazing over my right hand, long in my spine, strong in my legs. Breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's keep the strength in our legs here. We're going to take this into extended side angle. So we're going to lay the forearm on the thigh and reach this left arm up and over to hover over the ear, opening your chest towards the ceiling. And know your leg is talking to you. You can soften the bend in your knee if you need to, but then come back into the pose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come on up out of it. I like to spiral on my heels so my toes face forward. Bring the feet together, and then I'll start that over again. So stepping back to the front of my mat. Actually, I'm going to step this way so you can see me. Stepping back now, the right foot. Bending the left knee. Find this opening through the hips, long in the spine. Let's bring the arms out. Warrior two. Just breathing here. Really enjoy and celebrate how strong you are. Even if your legs are shaking, even if you're like, oh gosh, I don't want to do this. That means that it's so good for you and you're changing a habit and making up something that's so good for you to create space for a new way of being. Coming into your strength, coming into your power. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's all smile. Coming into extended side angle, resting the forearm on the thigh, keeping those ribs lifted. There's no collapsing here. There's no resting here. This is just a contact point. Bringing up that right arm and just breathing. Chest is opening up towards the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up, spiral on that heel, step the feet together, back to the mountain. Oh, connect with your breath, celebrate, feel that vitality pulsing through your body right now. And stay in it. So we're going to keep the legs wide, pivot on the heels so the toes are facing towards the diagonal edges of your mat, bending the knees, bringing those hips straight down, bringing the arms up and then squeezing those shoulder blades toward each other for goddess pose. Breathe here. Can you breathe into your belly, sides, and back here? So good for your pelvic floor. So good for the low back. If you can release the pelvic floor, then you can release the low back. Keeping those lower ribs in alignment with the upper ribs. Keep that strength going through your thighs. Stay with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now we're gonna straighten the legs. Bring the heels and the toes in alignment with each other and then bend forward. Soften the knees, coming into a forward bend. Grab your yoga blocks if you need them, or maybe the seat of a chair, or you can just keep your hands on your thighs or your shins. But enjoy that release of the back of the legs. Just breathe here. Now soften the knees, stand strong through your feet to rise back up. And then we're gonna stand back at the front of the mat. Place your hands on your hips like you did for Warrior One. We're gonna keep the right foot where it is and step back the left. This time the whole foot's gonna stay on the ground. And we're gonna bend, no we're not. We'll keep a little air pillow behind the right knee if you need it. And we're going to bend at the hips for pyramid pose. So now this is where with your hands on your hips, you can feel if your hips are really flaying out. You want to keep them mostly in alignment with each other. Keep that little air pillow behind your right kneecap. If you feel tightness in your thigh or in your back, if you feel pretty good, you can work towards a straighter leg. But we're going to keep this here into this flat back. Keep the breastbone long. Stretching the mat with your feet. Breathe here. And press strongly through that right foot to stand back up, and we'll change legs. So back to the mountain. Find neutral. Hands on hips, step back the right foot. Bend that left knee just a hair, a little air pillow behind the kneecap, and I'm bending at the hips, bringing the breastbone long and forward. Feeling that sense of length through the crown of the head. Stretching the mat with your feet here for pyramid pose. Good. Keep with me. Breathe here. Enjoy it. Now soften that front knee. Step strongly through that left foot to stand back up. Bringing the feet together. And then I'm going to step back just a little bit. Feet are nice under the hips like in mountain pose. We're going to bend the knees deeply, bringing the hips down for awkward chair pose. It's like a lightning bolt. But you should feel that energy zapping through you. This is strong, strong in your back and tension through your fingers, strong in your legs. Enjoy it, love it, smile. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come to a forward bend, keeping your knees soft if you need it. Holding onto your calves or your shins. Just breathe here, enjoy that release in the back of the legs. So I'll bring our hands to our shins, come into a flat back. Feel your breath. And then slowly come back to the mountain. Let's place one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Breathe. Feel that energy moving through you. You are so strong. Maybe you surprised yourself. Let yourself surprise yourself. Feel a sense of wonder for how amazing you are and celebrate it. Tap into it every day and enhance it, grow it. Because this is you, filled with so much potential for everything you can possibly dream for yourself. Let's bring our hands together at our heart in gratitude for the strong practice today. It doesn't take much to really feel your strength and your power. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I'll see you next time.